Okay, well, howdy there, friends, and welcome to 2025, and welcome to a brand new episode of Gadget Hunter. We are so excited to have you here with us today, and just really thrilled about what we're going to be talking about. We were meant to be getting back to Gadget Hunter literally last week, but unfortunately, I was down with illness. I still am a little bit, so we have decided to do something a little bit different, because this isn't your only one-stop shop for all things tech. It is also your one-stop shop for all things games, excitement, stuff that's coming, electronics, and all manner of other things going on. So what we thought today would actually be really, really fun to do would be to review the best games that are coming up in 2025. Some of them, the ads have already gone out, and we're looking at them. We want to watch them together. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have a tremendous amount of fun. We're also going to be doing this part 1 today and part 2 on Thursday. That's right. We're going to try very, very hard to have 2 episodes of Gadget Hunter going out twice weekly, and we'll be sure to keep you up there. It's either Wednesday or Thursday. We haven't quite decided yet, but we'll be sure to let you know as soon as the details are available. So, of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Do all the great stuff, because that's how our little channel grows. And it's also an opportunity for you to win big with exclusive giveaways, prizes, and all sorts of other stuff. But that comes later on. What more to say? I'm your lovely host, John Morris, and let's get rolling, shall we? Let's see what we have got going on in 2025. And we want to thank, let's bring up, just want to know who to credit for this, because they put a phenomenal job in putting the ads. PlayStation Empire over on YouTube. So we're going to be reviewing the games that they have put out there. I want to thank them so much for putting the ad out there as well. I'm still a little bit under the weather, but we're ready to rock and roll. We're ready to do this show, and I wasn't going to delay it anymore. So with that in mind, let's roll the ad, and let's check out some of the games that are happening in 2025. Okay, pause there. Okay, so as you can see already, just from that little bit of a trailer that we've had, 2025 promises to be a really exciting year for all gamers. Now, first thing I got to say, there's some games that are going to come up that are graphically absolutely phenomenal. When you're like me, I know fuddy-duddy, and you remember the 8-bit games now to have 90 gigabyte and above games and open world games is like the thing of futuristic stuff that we could never even imagine back in the day, but it's here now and it's really exciting. Some of these games are really dark as well. If you are into playing horror games, which I personally am not, you know, these games do come with certainly a dark spirit for sure, and always something to be very much aware of when you're bringing that sort of stuff into your life. But graphically, I have to say, they're phenomenal. They really are phenomenal. So the first one, of course, was, I believe, God of War there. Let's check out a little bit of the trailer, and we're going to talk about this game in a little bit more depth. So that was actually Doom, the Dark Ages, but you can see why I would make the mistake. It literally is like your first-person beat-em-up kind of thing, extremely graphic, extremely gory. There's a lot going on in there, and what you're going to find throughout a lot of these games that we review here today is they all look very, very similar. And I think that's personally, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day who's in the industry, and we were talking about this, and what he was saying is because they've used the Unity engine, which Assassin's Creed Unity, Ubisoft, used many, many years ago to create the game and forthcoming games and things. And I don't think they patent it. So literally now, so many games are looking the same. What's going to be really interesting from a point of view for me as a gamer is the story. And that, I think, is what is traditionally, that's what's always sold. It is the ability to tell stories and how good you are at telling stories. Doom, the Dark Ages, graphically looks great. Story-wise looks great. It is another one that's, for me, just like, nah, because it's a more spacey, shoot them, beat them up kind of thing. It's not something that I'm going to be leaping on because I'm not heavily invested in the space games. I've just never have been. It's never been something that I've really overly been interested in. But I know there's a lot of people out there that love the Doom series, and are really excited for this particular series. Graphically, like I say, it looks phenomenal. It really, really does. And from the video that's there alone, there's a lot, I think, to capture a lot of people. But for me personally, it's just not one that I'm going to leap on. So with that in mind, let's jump on, shall we, to the game 2.
I don't remember when it happened, but I remember how I felt. Father told us to hide when they came to our house. Then they took him away. Mother said I couldn't play outside anymore. Everyone had fled. She said the country was sick, but we would be okay. Mother always said monsters didn't exist. I thought they lived under my bed. We were both wrong. They live inside our heads. Okay, let's hit pause. Yeah, okay, so we're going to hit pause there and we're going to talk about it. So, Hell is Us. Very dark game, as you can imagine. From a philosophical point of view, and if you're looking for more philosophy and psychology and spirit, head on over to Mind, Body and Soul, John Morris, where we basically do the Mind, Body and Soul podcast. And there's a lot to unpack in this one for sure. But it's very interesting. The sort of the theme of the game is how hell lives inside of us and inside of our heads. And you've heard that before, that, you'll not be punished by your anger, but you'll be punished for, or you'll not be punished for your anger, but by your anger. You punish yourselves essentially. And that's where you create your own hell and heaven a lot of the time. And I think it's a really interesting concept that they have pulled on creating this game for sure, because again, it plays like an Assassin's Creed game, it plays like a Red Dead Redemption game. I think the world that they've set up is very futuristic for sure. It's post-apocalyptic as well. So there's a lot of interesting things for sure to unpack about it. Again, graphically, phenomenal. Story-wise, I'm sure it's going to be very, very dark. And I think, it is going to tell, the story that's there. It looked like they had the plague pits as well, which if you know your history, you'll know all about that. So they're pulling on some very interesting themes here and how, it lives inside our head. It's not a game, again, that I'm going to leap on, but I think it would be a very interesting game from the story point of view to see really where they're going to go with it, what they're going to do with it, how they're going to develop it, and how the story plays out. It has the potential to tell a really great story about humanity and about why we do what we do, how we create our own heaven and hell, and more. And yeah, it may be something that I certainly look at and review, but yeah, I ain't big into those horror games. Let's roll on, shall we, and see what else we've got. It is a game that I know many people that have been fans of the Assassin's Creed series have been really looking forward to. They've been crying out for it for so long, you know, a game set in the land of the rising sun, and especially, you know, in I think it's in the 1300s, if I remember correctly. I know there's already been, you know, a heavy amount of flack that has been unleashed out on top of this game because of the choice of male protagonist. Even though historically speaking, there was a black samurai warrior that existed, and there have been many, but equally, there was other people that you could have used as well. Minyamu Mitsubishi, I think, as well, being one of them, who wrote The Art of War and several other books as well. You know, but from a gameplay point of view, you've got to give it a chance. And for Assassin's Creed, you know, I think this is the one that people have really been looking forward to, really been looking for. For me personally, you know, my favorites are still Unity and Syndicate, and then Black Flag, and I, you know, sort of tier system. I wasn't as much of a fan of the latter part of the series. I have seen them. I haven't played them personally, but for this, I'm really, really excited. I think Odyssey was probably the last one that I watched through fully. I've got it downstairs, but I've been so busy doing other things that I've just had no time to sit down and play it. But I think it's going to be a really interesting story. Hopefully, they're really, you know, gonna redeem themselves and gonna, you know, save their sort of brand and things, because I know that there was a lot of things. There wasn't that much noise made about Mirage, for example. And obviously Valhalla was mixed reviews and things, which I think is a shame because, you know, on the one hand, I look at the work that Ubisoft put into Assassin's Creed and what they do, and now with the open platform and the gaming platforms and stuff, you know, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're trying to release more and more and more. So from that point of view, I appreciate that. But on the other point of view, Valhalla to me was like an adapted version of Black Flag, which was another version of Rogue, and then we saw that in, you know, and I think that there are parts and times where you're just like, okay, there's so many more time periods. Give us a game set in World War II. Give us a game set in World War One. that isn't just, the same. And then when we went back to the Middle East with Mirage, I really didn't even give it a second look. I'll be honest. The graphics looked phenomenal on it. It looked amazing, but I didn't. This, however, I will. Assassin's Creed in the Shadows, I think has the potential to be a really phenomenal game. If they've done it well, it will be, because they've always been great at storytelling and always been great at being able to capture the attention of the audience. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. We're going to continue rolling on because time is short. We've possibly got time for another maybe one or two, and we'll see where we end up. Let's take a look. Ghost of Yōtei. Now, I do remember seeing this, and actually,
we
wow, this is
are beyond the edge of Japan.
Story point of view, very, very good. I have seen this advert.
People come north to disappear. But you are hunting. And now, every Ronin here is after you. Still think you're the hunter?
So the Ghost of Yōtei, my goodness, that looks good. I have to say that is one that really, really looks phenomenal. Graphically, story. I mean, it had everything in there to really capture my attention. Yes, it looks similar to an Assassin's Creed game or a Rockstar game. It had the Red Dead sort of vibes going on about it, especially Red Dead 2. But it looked great. I mean, it really, really did look great. Cannot say enough awesome things about that game, and I'm super excited for that to come out. Graphically, like I say, I'm like blown away. It's like amazing. And I hope you guys are too. We're going to continue this conversation on Wednesday or Thursday. We'll let you know, obviously, as soon as we possibly can. But I hope you've enjoyed this conversation so far. Again, as we've looked at, I think the ones to really watch out for this year is the Ghost of Yōtei, and also with Assassin's Creed Shadows. I think those are two phenomenal games that's there. I think Hell in Us is going to be it's going to be an interesting story for sure. It's going to be something, obviously, it's very, very dark, something that I'm personally not going to play, but from a story point of view, I think it'd be phenomenal. And, who knows, Doom may be, really, really interesting and phenomenal to play. It's just, like I said, it's not my kind of thing. But let us know what you think in the subscription, in the question box below. And, of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends, because this could be the very thing that they want to hear when they're looking at what games to purchase in 2025. And, of course, come and join us later on this week when we're going to continue our topic for this week when we're looking at best games of 2025. And, we will see you there, my friends. Take care. God bless. We'll see you soon.